Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Let's Play Link to the Past here on the HeavyBitsX channel. Today, we have completed everything that we need to get our hands on. It is now time to move on to the first proper dungeon of the game. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, but Tarrison, we went through 3 official dungeons already. Yes, you're right. We went through the East Palace, the Desert Palace, and the Tower of Hera. In the Dark World, on the other hand, there are 7 dungeons. As I call them, they're the real dungeons of this game. I would say that the 3 dungeons you began, or the emblem dungeons, they're the tutorial dungeons. This is where the game really starts. And as you may have noticed, cold is gone. Yay! It's so hard, a bit meh. But I'm back to my normal self. Anyway, moving straight on, now we're heading back to where the East Palace was in the Light World. We're now going to take on a new breed of trouble. See, we have all these enemies which count as the Dark World enemies because they turn into monsters and mutants and shit. Anyway, which you may notice this. Right! This is the section where the Palace of Darkness lies. Instead of it being simple, it's now complicated. Which is the problem, because this is the first dungeon of the game. We're gonna have problems. A lot of problems. Anyway. Before we do, let's go inside the building here, so we can actually learn a little bit about where this area is. And this is a shrub. So essentially, he's on about the power of gold. Well, basically, it only obeys the first person who touches it. Well, this is an interesting fact. Reflected in his heart, which is chaos. He basically became. Here's the important thing. To restore the Golden Land, one person worthy has to kill the man who claimed the last wish, power of gold, known as the Triforce. Yes. This is the first time the game mentions the Triforce. Essentially, it becomes one of the most important relics of the series. And for a lot of people, a symbol of divine judgment. So what is this Triforce? Well, we haven't got any clues as to it yet, but it is technically the golden power. As if you've already sussed it out already, this takes place if you fail to defeat Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time. Essentially, the golden power is the Triforce. Ganondorf was the one person who corrupted the Triforce, and thus he had the means to create the land that you see here. But this is the era of decline. You are the hero of decline. You are the last hero that this land needs. You are essentially green tunic wearing Batman, if you wanted to go that far. So, if you have any idea what to do, now, this is the most difficult part of this mission. Normally you would go through here and nothing else, but you can see these bits there and all that. It gets very complicated, so if you go this way, and you have a monkey that follows you, it's Kiki the monkey! If you give him 10 rupees, he'll follow you, which is a good thing, which you're gonna need to do. So, follow this path here, and such is the way of things. Head towards there, and other things as well. Keep going. And now, Kiki the monkey will tell him if you give him 100 rupees, he will open the temple for you. Do so. And I do mean open the temple. And that's the end of Kiki the monkey's appearance in this game. He doesn't get seen again. But we enter our first proper dungeon of the game. This is the first Dark World dungeon known as the Palace of Darkness. And your big enemies are the Helmosaurs. They are fucking annoying. So essentially, this place will allow you to go back and forth many, many times. Magic powder will destroy the pink enemies and turn them into fairies. Very useful if you're running out of health, per se. In the Dark World, Zelda will communicate with you rather than Sharala, who will not contact you as much. But if your pink enemies hit you, expect to lose some magic power. Now these are new enemies, blue jellyfish. Essentially, these are the annoying bastards. They act like the green enemies back in the light world. Hit them with your regular sword, you will get electrified. And these are the replacements of the golems in this game. As usual, the green elephant heads get killed in one hit. If you hit, also note as well, you get double damage if you get hit directly from these guys. This is what you don't do. This is what you don't want. As I mentioned before, this is one of the most complicated dungeons to begin with for beginners because you will have to go back and forth through this at least a couple of times in order to get everything here. But this is the important thing. New to the game are orange jellyfish, which will, as you can see, if you hit them, they will split into two. Even when you hit them with a block. And they will also count as enemies too, because they're annoying and they suck. They're also impervious to boomerangs, so boomerangs are useless. Arrows, I'm assuming they are useless. However, hit them with blunt objects like blocks, and you will do damage. Wait a minute. Right. Shit. And I have to use a fairy in order to make sure I'm fine. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself there are two bombed areas. You're right, of course. Inside here is the dungeon map, conveniently located. Now, if you want to go back to the entrance of the dungeon, use the magic mirror. Magic mirrors are going to be useful in this part. So, now let's see where we have to go to next. Well, for one thing, we need to get a health supply check. Another Helmosaur. Get used to Helmosaurs. They're going to be the main problem in this dungeon. They are impervious to anything of your sword, your bombs, and your arrows. Just get used to that mentality. Now, to the bottom left, pick up this key here. Head back the way we came. So, back up here. Let's see, now that we're back here again, press the door there. Now we can pick up the key, we can now go back to the main entrance this time. Which we do so, we enter the Palace of Darkness properly. Through that, pick bombs there. Now let's do this. The Palace of Darkness has these. These are essentially Helmosaurs. They're very difficult. Those enemies without their heads and they walk around, they are the most difficult. Also, we have these fuckers. They make another appearance here. Annoying you. Trust me. Then keep smacking up here. Right. Now things get a bit interesting. So, press that. Now you could try and use the boomerang here, but it doesn't work like that. I mean, it doesn't stretch far enough. So what you need to do here is use a bomb. Essentially, it is delayed. So, go through here. Up there. Kill these guys here. I just realized we have no key. Nope! I just realized we don't have a key. Shit. We're gonna have to go the other way. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back the way we came. Oh yeah, definitely come back the way we came, we have to go elsewhere. Right, this is where it gets complicated, very complicated. If you don't, you will suck for this dungeon. So, what you can do here is go put the door through there, and pick up this key here. Let's just put it this way. This is where it gets confusing if you're using multiple keys. Right. What you could do here is go back to the entrance using that, but I just realized that I saw a treasure chest back there that I missed. So we're going back for the treasure chest, folks. Yes, indeed we are. Believe me, when I say that this place gets really confusing, it does. Because there are so many doors and there's so many keys in the there's so many keys, not Alicia keys, obviously. Let's move on. Magic power, you can't commit any, so that idea is kind of fucked. Just keep, and they're impervious to the boomerang, which is not a good sign, but if you could smack them with the magic sword, it'd be a lot easier. Yeah, go for this bit again, you know how this is done. Difficult when he can actually hurt you with the fireballs instead, so here's the strategy I would put. Let's put that. More arrows to give. Yeah, go for that. Try this again. Now, we're back here again. No surprise. We need to explore every room in the dungeon now. Keep exploring. I don't know. Don't need to do much. Right. Oh, they're beetles. I remember those things with no heads. They're beetles. And you can't kill them anyway without any item. You need an item to get them on the protective shell. Another key. Good. That's 2 keys. Right. Magic mirror time. Let's get back to the entrance. If it gets annoying, trust me, it kinda does. Not only does the magic mirror reset any dungeon, but it also brings back the enemies, so essentially any enemies you've killed go into it. Oh, go ahead. Right. Now we've got that. Okay. Let's jump over. Go through here. Destroy the guy here, and you go for the door. Go for this door here. Let's see. Go for that. Run through here because the floor's collapsible. This is the interesting part here. Now, normally be like, sure, go ahead. Ah, fuck. Funny, but we can't go. We're gonna have to go back for there again. See, Helmasols can die by blocks, which is true. Yeah, we can't hit the beetles, but we can actually move around them. And we got a compass. Now, next time we move downwards, I think. God damn it. Yeah, let's get downstairs so we can actually get to another part. Alright. Big things we can actually recover. And let's get all the free rupees that we can get our hands on, which is cool. And everything. This is actually the least annoying of the dungeons. There's at least 6 more after this, and they're all devious. Including the simple ones. One treasure chest contains another key, which you can use later on, and trust me, we will. And the other one is just a repetition of your arrows. So, let's get back upstairs. And let's go avoid the beetles, because now we're done with this room. We don't need to come back here again. Lift this one up here, go there, and you find 5 rupees. You mean, pretty sure. Push the statue. Prevent that from happening, and we're back here again. Yes, we are. Now let's show off Ether, shall we? Don't like them gathering, but of course if you want to, gather them all in one spot, use the Ether magic, which is pretty useful at this point. Which freezes enemies completely nullifying them. Which does wonders. Right. Now let's get back to where we were before. I believe we have another room to go to. So, let's now get the big key. In order to get the big key, you need to do this. You need to bomb the floor. Like so, you go down to the next floor below. When you do that, you head towards this platform. We haven't been to the basement level yet. Usually we head towards the basement where you probably find something. So, using the key that we found earlier, head up here and then we find this soul treasure chest. This soul treasure chest contains the big key. Which is important because now we can actually try and locate the big treasure chest, or the chest of the treasure, or the chest of the dungeon. Another small key, which we're probably going to be using much later on. Now let's get out of here. We're heading back towards this bit again. Head up here. That's the way there, right. Takes a while. I mean, this takes a very long while. Kill the Helmosaur with the block. Not even much, but anyway, as I said before, that key will now give us that key is the one reason we need, because we can now have to head back to where we were before. Again. This time we need to show off the power of the Quake. Quake flinches targets. Very, very useful, and it's going to be very handy. Uh-oh. Oh, ah, son of a... That was a waste of time. I know, right? Okay, moving straight on. We can't really do much. Well, since we haven't got the frickin' sword beam key solver, throw a bomb. Like so. Done that, head towards there. Right there. Now, this actually now will make more sense when you realize it, that the way we have to go is back from here again. You see that big treasure chest there? That's our objective, but this time we go left through the keyhole here. Trust me, it's gonna help us later on. Oh yes it will, because now we get to fight. Oh Jesus. Dodongos. Yeah, these are actually Dodongos. I thought they were just dinosaurs, but they're actually Dodongomagos. Yes, indeed. Now we have more bombs. Bombs are going to be useful in a minute. I'll probably tell you the reason why. Head through this, kill the Dodongo there, that's nowhere. Back towards there. Now spotted in the treasure chest, easy access. Another key. Good. Just what we need. Right, this is it. Drop a bomb here, wait for the magic to happen, go through the door, and we now get to pick up the treasure of the dungeon, the magic hammer. The first dungeon item that is going to be very useful, the magic hammer, which is effectively the most powerful item so far, because it now means armored enemies are effectively our bitch. Why you ask yourself, why you ask me this? Well, it's simple. The magic, now that we gain our hands on the magic hammer, we have the means to damage those Helmosaurs. And we can take on those beetles. Take on the armored beetles. I think they're armored beetles, I'm not quite sure, but they're vulnerable. Watch. See, the magic hammer forces them onto their backside. When they do that, they become vulnerable. Their backsides are then vulnerable. You can kill them. At last, we can kill them. Thank God too. I'm starting to get on our nerves. You don't get anything though, but it's just a demonstration. Nothing here. There's nothing in these two rooms. Right. Magic hammer. Now we have the means to move on to the lower dungeons at last, so we can actually get on to our next bit. Head towards the eastern room now. You notice that we're actually below the room that we were. Essentially. Head toward now. There's a switch here, which opens that door there. This top right statue. If you push it all the way to the button here, we'll hold it down for you. When you do, you can move on to the next part. But before we do, I just realized something. There's actually a hidden room that I missed. Yes, it is. I wanted to cover every room in this dungeon, so we're back here. Also, might I add, this is also technically a shortcut. So, if you want to go through this method, go right ahead. Because I know for a fact it's going to be very difficult anyway. Now that we're nearly done, mostly partially through this, mostly done with the dungeon. For now at least, so we're not exactly done yet, but we got one final bit remaining. Don't hit, and as I remind you, when jellyfish sparkle, don't fucking hit them! Also, they're like the golems here, you can hit them with the arrows, you can actually trick them. You can actually make them move, which is not a bad thing to do here, so notice that as well. Anyway, We're back up to this point here. Very difficult, as always. Now, you're probably wondering, we're above the area that we were in. The reason why we haven't been hit, we're back here, in order to show off what the magic hammer can do. See, these enemies are like, ha 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 ha, like Mandark, right? They go, ha 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 ha. Shut them up with it. We have the one thing to shut them up now. It's called the hammer. Watch. And might I add, they become permanent as well. You can kill them with a hammer, but it is pretty difficult. So, with the magic hammer, smack them! They essentially become drop-off points, which you can use effectively. Right. This place here is a hidden fairy room, which, since you got cool, actually hot. Keep. Let's stock up on the fairies, and there we go. Now I think we can effectively, finality move on, and move on we shall. Let's go back to the room we were in. We can properly do it now, since we've pretty much got everything, and I do mean everything. If you look at the map, we will have covered everything by this point, so not quite, but we get the idea. So, also, you can use the sword beam to kill these guys, to kill the greenhead guys, which is not it's not a bad idea, but it is also a very long idea, which is why arrows is often the best thing to use. Oh, it's not because of that, but we can actually trick them? So, should do this, play this game of chicken, which we do. Might I add, enemies in this world now do double damage, so you gotta watch yourself. Right! Hit this block guy with an arrow, it will force a passageway, like we did in the other one, back in the light world. And this does take quite a while though, a few seconds. It's a sequence though. And then we get revealed a staircase, which will take us down to the below point. Below the floors, yes. Now that we have one key spare, use the magic hammer. It's these guys again, they're blocking our way. Again. Kill the armored beetles with flip them over with the hammer. Smack them with the sword. Trust me, it works. Let's just clear some room. Now, here's a pretty good trick. You'll probably need to do this a lot, so if you use the arrow to trigger that, and open the door with the last remaining key, we're in the final means. We need to get the hammer out because there's an armored beetle. So let's get them out of the way, head down this room. Now, kill every beetle you can get your hands on. This is essentially a free-for-all. I mean, if you're struggling to get rid of the beetles, flip them all up and use the other magic. It will freeze everyone, so you can actually effectively take them all down. Which is good. It's a good strategy to use, if you have magic power. Right, now that we kill all the Helmosaurs, not all the Helmosaurs, but we killed all the beetles, armored beetles. Let's just get through this, through that. Let's light some rooms up. Now you may have noticed there's a teleporter, which is very important because we're nearly done with the dungeon. Now we're in the final stretch. Get these ready because you're going to need a lot of space. And through this door, we have ourselves our first Dark World boss, the Helmosaur King. Right. In order to defeat Helmosaur King, you need to first off hit his face with the hammer. Sometimes treasure of the items or item of the dungeons will help you. Just not like that though. You have to watch out for his tail. Watch out for the king's tail and his fireball attacks, because they will get annoying. Also, this gets really annoying level 3, because there is no way of actually avoiding damage to the guy that will be facing in Dungeon 3. Just for now, right, until now, when his helmet is broken apart, this is where arrows come in. When he holds still, perfect time to unleash a couple of arrows in his green spot. Do 2, and then it means 2 more to go, and he'll be dead soon. 1, and that's it. The Helmasaur King has been dethroned. Link has conquered the first dungeon of the Dark World, and has gained not only a heart piece, but also a crystal. What is the object of these crystals, you may ask yourselves? Well, we're about to find out in a couple of seconds, because these are the maidens! It's a maiden! They're not dead! Hallelujah! So essentially, these maidens will now describe the legend of the Golden Land. This is the Dark World. Before the Dark World, it was known as the Golden Land, but known as the Golden Land, it's known as the Sacred Realm, between those in the Zelda fandom. So essentially, she'll be telling you about Ganon's plans to conquer the Light World after building a using his army. Ganon, by the way, conquered Light World from the Dark World. He's going to try and create a larger gate that will completely engulf both areas. So essentially now, that you can actually stop him by actually gaining 6 other maidens. She will return to her form at this time, but of course, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. Yes, Triforce exists. So for the moment, the maiden is stuck as crystal form, and you've got 6 more dungeons. So, in the next part, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to explore some more worlds, and prepare for Dungeon 2.